Welcome back to Apple Insider, your trusted channel for in-depth reviews, analysis and honest opinions on the devices you love and remember. Today we're diving into a classic, the Nokia 5210, a phone that once ruled the rugged category and became a legend for its durability, its no-nonsense design, and the kind of reliability that modern smartphones sometimes struggle to deliver. If you're someone who appreciates tech nostalgia or you just want to know how this old-school beast stands in today's world, stick with me till the end because we're about to take a closer look, feature by feature, and see what made the Nokia 5210 a timeless companion. Let's start with the design and build quality because that's where the Nokia 5210 really stands out. At first glance, this device doesn't try to look like a fashion statement. Instead, it screams toughness. The body is made with a combination of rubberized casing and durable plastic, making it shock-resistant and splash-proof. It was literally marketed as a rugged phone, built for people who worked outdoors, adventurers, or anyone who wanted a device that could take a beating and keep working. Unlike modern glass and aluminum slabs that shatter when dropped, the Nokia 5210 was meant to survive falls, scratches, rain, and even dust. Its compact size made it easy to slip into your pocket, and the tactile keypad was responsive and easy to use, even if your hands were wet or dirty. This was a phone you didn't have to baby. It was engineered to be your partner in tough environments, and that's why it's still remembered fondly. Moving on to the display, the Nokia 5210 came with a monochrome screen, something that may look outdated today but was perfectly functional at the time. The resolution was simple, but the screen was bright enough for outdoor use and readable under direct sunlight, which is something many modern phones still struggle with. It was designed to show you the essentials: contacts, text messages, time, battery, and those iconic Nokia menus. The display wasn't flashy, it wasn't about entertainment, it was about utility. You didn't have to worry about glare, cracks, or high battery consumption. That's part of the charm of this device. It kept things minimal and functional, a perfect match to its rugged exterior. Now let's talk performance. Performance in the early 2000s was never about processing power or running heavy apps. It was about how responsive and reliable the phone felt when you needed it. The Nokia 5210 ran a very light operating system that never lagged, never crashed, and never required an update. You could type messages, make calls, scroll through menus and it would respond instantly. The performance was rock solid, and that was exactly what users wanted at the time. It was not a phone designed for multitasking as we know it today, but for its purpose, communication, it delivered flawlessly. The keypad made texting smooth and fast, and calling quality was crystal clear. Nokia's reputation for strong network reception was legendary, and the 5210 carried that torch proudly, letting you stay connected even in areas where other phones struggled to catch a signal. The camera category here is simple to explain, because the Nokia 5210 didn't have one. And that was normal for its time. Early 2000s phones were not yet embracing cameras as a standard feature. Instead, the Nokia 5210 prioritized durability and essential communication tools. And while modern users may laugh at the absence of a camera, the lack of extra components actually contributed to its toughness. You never worried about breaking a fragile lens or scratching a glass sensor. This was a no-distraction device. It was made for people who wanted reliability over luxury, and it delivered exactly that. Battery life is one of the most impressive aspects of the Nokia 5210. With a removable 750 mAh lithium-ion battery, it might sound small compared to today's massive batteries, but remember, this phone wasn't powering a bright color display or running heavy apps. It was running a light operating system and a monochrome screen. That meant you could easily get several days of usage on a single charge. In standby mode, it could last up to 2 weeks. Charging was simple, quick, and because the battery was removable, you could carry a spare if needed. Compare that to today, where we often scramble for a charger by evening, and you'll understand why many still admire old Nokia phones for their unbelievable endurance. The Nokia 5210 gave you peace of mind that your phone would be ready when you needed it, without charging anxiety. Let's move on to software and features. The Nokia 5210 kept things minimal but functional. The menus were straightforward, the text was clear, and it had everything you'd expect from a classic Nokia. You could store contacts, send and receive SMS, set reminders, alarms, and of course, play the iconic Snake 2 game that came preloaded. This wasn't just a game, it was a cultural phenomenon, and it made waiting at the bus stop or sitting in class much more fun. The 5210 also included useful tools like a stopwatch, calculator, and a basic calendar. These small touches made it feel more like a digital companion rather than just a calling device. Another interesting feature was the ability to change the express on covers, allowing you to customize the look of your device by swapping out its shell. This gave a little personalization to an otherwise rugged design, letting users express themselves while keeping their phone protected. Finally, let's talk about value for money. When the Nokia 5210 was released, it was priced higher than your average entry-level phone because of its rugged build and durability. But what you got in return was a phone that could last for years, withstand harsh environments, and keep you connected without fail. It wasn't about specs or entertainment, it was about reliability, and in that department, the Nokia 5210 delivered unmatched value. Even today, collectors and enthusiasts often point to the 5210 as an example of how a phone should be built for its purpose. If durability and long-term use are your priorities, this phone was a bargain. And that's what made it special. It gave you confidence in your purchase, knowing you wouldn't be replacing it every year. So now it's time for the conclusion. The Nokia 5210 may look outdated in a world full of smartphones with massive displays, high-resolution cameras, and lightning-fast processors, but its legacy remains powerful. It was not designed to compete with modern smartphones, it was designed to be reliable, tough, and always ready to perform the basics flawlessly. Its rugged build set it apart, its display was practical, its performance was rock solid, its battery life was unmatched, and its software kept things simple yet effective. While it didn't have a camera or apps, it never claimed to be that kind of device. Instead, it represented an era where phones were about communication, reliability, and endurance. For many, the Nokia 5210 was more than just a phone, it was a survival tool, a travel buddy, and a daily companion you could trust. Here at appleInsider, we believe that looking back at devices like the Nokia 5210 reminds us of how far technology has come, but also how much we can still learn from the philosophy of durability and simplicity. If you're someone who values nostalgia or you just want a device that does what it promises without distractions, the Nokia 5210 is still worth remembering. That's all for today's review. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth content on both classic and modern devices. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.